Rick, how you doing?
Good, Megan. How about you?
I am doing well. I came to the office today and
Mm-hmm.
looks like there is pumpkin spice coffee and
Fall is in
there,
the air.
yeah, there's autumn scented candles, and
I love it.
we're getting the windows painted next week with little fall leaves.
Oh,
And
nice. Uh-huh.
I know we're planning a little pumpkin party for our clients that have little kids that maybe want to, do a jack-o'-lantern that are
Oh,
around.
very good.
So I think fall's
Well,
in the air. I think tomorrow's the day.
I think it is. And I love your office setup, by the way. The background's awesome. And I've ordered furniture for my office. And of course, there's a backlog. Everything's in back order. So
Rick, I don't want to tell you this, but I did tell you that.
I know that. I know, right? And Karen has too many times. She wants me working at the office.
I know.
So I'll be set up there next month.
She's ready for you to have a new location, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. She's like, what are you doing here? I go, I live here. I pay the bills.
Oh my God. She's like, I need my space.
I know, right?
Oh my gosh. I love coming in the office because it's just nice to change the scene a little bit, Plus,
Yeah, right.
plus my new office is fabulous. Wait till you
I
see
love
it.
it. I can't wait to see it.
Okay,
Good for you.
so speaking of fall, now in Orange County and most of Southern California, fall is sort of the beginning of some seasonal changes in the real estate market. Now, last year, it didn't matter what season it was. It could have been the season of hell. It did not matter, which it kind of was.
All right.
Houses were selling like a freight train, right? But now that things have opened up in June and the children are back at school, things are now moving more into a seasonal market again. Even though it doesn't feel that way on the buyer side, it kind of feels a little bit more that way on the seller side. So inventory, which is the amount of homes that go up for sale, has been down. I think I read in the report today, 9% in the last 2 weeks. So it looks like the trend is going to continue as it has been since 2018, that there's not enough homes for sale to meet the demand.
And that trend, by the way, will continue well past the fall. I think we're talking, and everything that I'm reading is we're really going to be in this tight market for the next 5, maybe 8 years out. So there's nothing that is on the horizon that indicates that this will change anytime soon.
Yeah, I agree.
It's just the market. It's just the way it is.
Exactly. And so I think that if people were, kicking themselves because they didn't buy last year, and I have a lot of buyers that were thinking, well, let's kind of see how this whole thing plays out. And they were looking at like 700, and now I swear to you, those houses are like 850. I mean,
I know they are.
I mean, you can't get into Fullerton under 8. You just can't.
No. I think I read a report recently. The median sales price right now in Orange County is like around 850 or 880, something high 8s.
Yeah, it's bananas. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think the whole theme is going to be, again, listen, if you can get, because people say, well, I'm going to wait for the market to change. Well, I mean, we'd have to have like tens of thousands of more houses for sale.
Overnight.
Meet the demand, just to meet the demand, and then a few thousand more to exceed the demand, making it more of a buyer's market. But then the interest rates will probably be up. It's like if the price comes down $100,000, but the interest rate went up a point, you're not in the clear. Okay, you're still in the same spot. So just find something that you can at least have your money in the real estate market so that it can appreciate at the rate that houses are appreciating at. And then in 2-3 years, you'll have enough of a down payment to, move on to the next house that you want, or maybe you can keep that, run it out. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. At least have the option. Better than sitting on the sideline.
What were you telling me about new construction?
Well, that is off a little bit. It's not by much, about 0.3% in terms of new houses being built. But
Mhm.
that's primarily a function of the supply chain for home builders, right? They
Right.
have a lumber, of course, is an issue, but they also have a problem getting, guess what else? Windows, appliances, stuff that we have a problems
Guess
getting as
what
well.
else?
Hello.
Labor.
Yeah, all
Labor.
that too. Yeah, for sure.
Look at the labor
So
crisis we have going on right now. We live in
crazy.
the weirdest times that has
Yeah.
ever been recorded. I just, I'm not a history major, but there's just so many weird variables going on here.
It's very different.
I have a lot of people asking me, we should do this for next week, about the eviction moratorium. They seem to believe that after this eviction moratorium is up, that there will suddenly be a lot of houses for sale. But I don't think it's as much as we think it is.
No.
Yeah. So
No, I don't see that happening. And no one thinks that's gonna happen that way either, by the way.
it's kind of like the buzz on the street. So I think I need to dig up some hard numbers about that. And by the way, the people that haven't been paying their rent and that could have been paying their rent, where are these people going to move to? Who's going to, I don't know. There's a lot of,
there's so much going on with that. And the same thing is holding true with, people are saying, well, what about when people are out of forbearance, they're going to lose their home? That's just not going to be the case.
I think we should
in fact,
out the forbearance rate and the amount of people that are behind on their rent for next time.
I will tell you that 25% of the homeowners who are in forbearance are actually making their payments. That's a high number. Okay, so they really went into forbearance as like a safety net, if you will, but they're making their payments fine.
Right.
The foreclosure rate is the lowest it's been in 2 decades. And the amount of people that are behind on their monthly payments, I can't recall the exact number without looking at the report again, but it was like 2.4% or some number that's so low it doesn't hardly measure people that are 90 days or more behind on their payments.
Yeah.
That's a super low number. And so, with the foreclosure rate, the lowest it's been in 2 decades, nothing's really going to change that either. Nothing's going to move that needle to suddenly all these foreclosures, and we've talked about that before. The reality is that lenders will work with a homeowner to not go into foreclosure. They don't want the foreclosures.
Nobody wants that on their press, their Twitter. There's another little variable here, and I say little, and I'm being silly because, Governor Newsom signed in last week, basically eliminating single resident zoning. That is going to be very interesting, and we have a lot to learn about that. Usually when there's new legislation, that it takes us a while to kind of figure out what does all this really actually mean. So we'll have to find out more about that and post that as well. Exactly.
That's an ongoing, I think, developing story in terms of how that will play out in the market. I mean, it's the one thing to see it on paper, how that looks in the press. It's quite another to actually put it in practice.
Yeah,
whole different animal.
It'll be interesting. So let's find out more about those topics and see if we can get some numbers, and we'll talk about those in the next few episodes.
Sounds good to me.
All right, Rick, thank you for your time. I like your maroon shirt
today. Right. Gotta find some fall color shirts.
Your office soon.
I'm gonna get my pumpkin shirt out here pretty soon.
Yes. We'd like to see you in a fall sweater.
Get my Charlie Brown outfit on, or my Charlie Brown sweater.
All right. I'll see you next week.
See you, Megan. Take care.
Hang in there.
Thanks, you too. Bye-bye.